Hey guys, it's IKevNex here, and before we begin, I just would like to thank you all for the amazing, outstanding. I cannot even comprehend the reaction that the fight between these two Brolys you did, because that's still blowing me away daily. Every hour I think about it, and it just seems so surreal to have such an amazing reaction from everyone. I did not think that day would ever come, and if it did, probably with a reference video from fighters, not with an what if fight. But thank you so much for that. You have made me very personally very happy, which is why, of course, we're doing this video. Then again, it was suggested to me to do because I was showing my girlfriend that the timeline that you're seeing here, that is a little, clusterfuck of things. And I just wanted to show you everything that went into making that fight, because I'm very proud of it. Though of course I will change some things, but oh well, you cannot have perfection, but you can at least give it all and make it yourself feel comfortable with the work you did. So before I actually began the fight, I just did a couple of tests with Broly. I did a couple of tests to see if the Broly sprite from Dokkan Battle would actually make a proper fit when meshed with the anime. So here you can see the sprites there. And I first began with this dragging through the rocks animation. And these little things here are the real deal, the flash animations, if you so will. You gotta set the size and positioning to make sure it fits, and mostly you have to go frame by frame to see if it follows their certain motion, adding a little blur there to give it a sense of speed. Oh yes, also the green screen pack, I take this off here. The green screen pack I had came with a green screen actually, so I had to change it to pink or blue here to make sure the green from Broly's armor did not go away, because this is the original green screen here. This one, see? It's green, so I had to change it to pink, otherwise the green from the Broly's would just go away. Let me show you. See? Vanish. Become lava. And also the other test was with the Purple Broly punch from the first trailer. You can actually see Vegeta's hand here for a second, but that's okay. Match the sizes and make sure Broly gets hit during the punch. Yeah, this is basically what if fight 101, the basics that you have to do with the green screens. Here more of that, background. Here I did a little, had to trace, oh no, don't say traced. Make sure Broly's fist was over Gohan's fist to make sure it felt somewhat impactful. Here Broly attacks. Thankfully you have some sort of stances that we can make Broly go through to make it look like he's animated, but well, it's not. So if you go in slow motion, you'll see that he's, moving some sort. I wanted to make him kick, but I did not find release to make it believable. So this Broly kicked him here. Impact trims are ugly, so I'll try to refrain from showing them. Yes, Broly needs to grab someone's head, so here's what we did. Add some blur and lag lines to show some movement, make it seem believable. And here it's flipped the background to the side. This I actually took it from all the backgrounds are from Goku versus Goku Black, so this one you can see the shadow of Goku back here and here, a little bit here, because as he's dragging down, so the camera pans, so it's a good way to give momentum, give a sense of speed, to have the background go like that. And here, if you take away Broly and Broly, you see Goku there, because of black there. This one I just did a little masking on this gradient thingy to make it into a sphere. Oh, rather I did a chroma key. I think I did a masking, I don't know. Yeah, there's a masking here. Okay. To give continuity, what's the word? To make it seem like he was charging attack. And I also did the effect, because if I did not take this ball, then he would have a hole in his hand, and Broly's not Jesus, so yeah. This was from the trailer 3 shot, came very handy for the scene. This one here, Broly, is overlaying Goku, and this one is overlaying Goku again. So what I did, I copied this one to this, and this is only showing this here. And with this little masking, I mean positioning, covering it. So in the end you will not notice. Though when it explodes you can kind of see it a little bit. But it becomes smoke. But it's too fast, so you should not notice unless you're watching it. Here you add the Zenzoken sound effect to make it seem like he's dashing through. Because originally he was just going to appear, to zoom in, and that was very, very bad. You know, swapping between sprites and animation is really good to, you know, animate. Over here, since Broly actually has to become first in the screen, you have to switch them. That's very basic stuff. So he becomes priority, otherwise Broly's attack would be over him. And that would make no sense for Broly to be on top of him. This one I did masking on Photoshop to make a PNG. It wasn't in the green screen pack, probably because of the smokes. All of this is just shaking to make it seem like Broly's struggling, and I swapped some sprites, and you know, to animate of sorts. And also there are two Brolys, the one that comes over the beam and the one that's behind it. See, you can see he has two sorts of. Maybe you noticed during the video, maybe you didn't, but now you know. This is actually a punch he does in the Dokkan battle, but it actually sort fit for a reflection attack. He had the aura there. Yep. Good shot. And then I kinda, when you're editing, sometimes you lose the sense of time, you know, because you spend so long in this thing, and the actual video, it lasts like what, 2 seconds. So the ball goes away, and I just immediately made Broly dash away. So that was very instant. I should not have done that. I should have waited a little bit. Oh well. Later I actually slowed down this one just a bit like an explosion to give it a break, a breather. And Broly charges again with the same. And I added this one to make it seem like he was doing the shield, because as you know, this is a Ki Blast attack. Added a water ripple effect here to make it seem like the fist connected to the bubble. And of course the impact frame, which is just really a Photoshop of the frame with some filter added. And pushing Broly a little bit to go away as if the shield is expanding. And this is my favorite moment because so much is a thumbnail. Added a glow to the shield to make it seem fitting, since it's filled and not hollow. Then it expands. There is a comment because why is there smoke here? Well, that's because I did the masking from the video. It wasn't in the green screen pack, and this is what it's showing. And as the bubble increases, so does the smoke appears. Originally, to mask you would need to make those dots around Broly, frame by frame, every different stance he has to have to change it, and mostly circle him again, or rather trace, I suppose. That's the word that people like to use nowadays, huh? So yeah, I decided to make it. Plus it's Dragon Ball, so you can have smoke come out of nowhere in every explosion. It doesn't make any sense. Then Broly dashes with the shield as well, and punches Broly on the ground with the Vegeta hole that we are all very much in love with. I just did a color correction here. This one's a little tricky. I did some color correction. This stuff from the movie. This is the original color. And you see Broly changes, so I thankfully during green screen pack there was some, so I just have to match the poses. And here's a little bit more complicated because, as you know, the original ground, the original color is this one. So I did this to match the sky, blue skies. This one I'm only showing the bottom part because the ground crumbles. And here to make the color the right color for the ground. And of course, thankfully Broly is here, otherwise this is what it would look like. To make the ground crumble. A lot of work for maybe, what, 2 seconds of scene? But I wanted to make it seem impactful, this little crater here. Then we go to Broly's transformation sequence. Oh, over here we have lots of shaking. Camera shaking. I don't remember if I put some blur in Broly here too. Yeah, I did some. Energy ball, shield. Ah, this was a pain in the ass. Because this wasn't in the green screen pack I had, so I did it Photoshop myself. Rather, did this. And his hair actually goes up, so I had to make what, 4 variations of this picture. One with his mouth closed, the other one with his mouth open, normal hair and upper hair, and also the expression of the eye changed by doing this. Just this mean eyes. See, his eye, his expression keeps changing. I think you can see better here. Yeah, somewhat. Yep. To make it seem more lively, and also the hair, but the aura is kind of covering it. So if I take it out, you can see the hair changing. I wasted more time there than I would like to admit. And here all I did was to, this one is to cover the yellow eyes because he hasn't transformed yet. And here I did the same thing with a color corrector. I said the color corrector, where are you? Yes, here. To make the eye yellow, to take every yellow and make it black. See, yellow, black, black, yellow. Then he bursts out. I liked how I could be able to make this pose impact frame into the transformation from the trailer. Of course, now with the new trailer that would be more, you know, footage, but well, I'm very happy with this one. This from Goku versus Gohan, except painted green. This is the same image as before, but I just added some eyes and, you know, took out the colors, put it all black. Explosion, I painted a little green to add that. Here, it's better. This explosions from Freezer Transformation episode 94. But of course, green. To mask a little bit of this awful sprite animation. Okay, not really animation, but well, tweeting, I don't know the technical term. Anyway, lots of filter on top of it, otherwise it will be very, very silly. And also shaking. Here I took the same thing as before to make Broly talk of sorts. And I kind of erase his nose a little bit, so this one is just to make that nose be on top of it all the time, since he has no mouth here. Yep. When doing this kind of zoom outs, you need to be careful of the background as well, to make it seem like it's in there. It's one of the complaints I most have with myself before in the Super Saiyan 4 fight. Super Saiyan 4 of Super Saiyan God, because the background was just there. May as well be fighting behind a green screen because it did not feel like they belonged in the place. Ah yes, all these backgrounds I took from the trailer. Erased Whis and Broly and Goku and Vegeta and whoever else was fighting. This as we saw from the beginning. But the background is from movie 10. Ah yes, punching. Because Broly originally doesn't have many frames where he gets hit. So we don't have much. This punch, this one, and that's one as well. So I used them both here. Broly actually dashes a little bit and hits him. Dokkan sprites, of course. And this one is where I'm most... Because every Dragon Ball fight needs to have rapid punches. Rapid punch switching, swapping, trading. And this is by far the most... I don't know if it's very hard to make, because all I had to do was just, you know, paint Goku green and overlap Broly and erase Goku whenever Broly did not cover him completely. Though in retrospect I could have made his aura cover Broly a little bit more in some cases. And here I took Broly and put it on a layer above to make it seem like they are fighting each other and not just two images. Hey Goku, why are you so green? And I painted Broly green here to make it seem like he was, you know, being cased in the aura. Otherwise this would not look good at all. Yeah. And here's just a repeat of this one. I rendered to see if it would look good. Thankfully it looked fluid enough, though this pose still cracked me up. This one. Little energy ball to make it seem like he's charging the punch. And the explosion. The masking was a little weird because you see the mountains here in the back. But I needed to show it, so plus since I don't like to mask a lot, I just did the circle here. Just somewhat encompass the blast only. Then I just did some opacity and painted this background green in all the variations. Oh, this one also doesn't look that bad, but yeah, better like this. And originally there was no body blast as well, plus no close-up of the punch. I added those later, as you will see. Here, to make it seem like the lava is actually there, I added a wave motion. Here, wave motion. Oh yeah, I deactivated. I'm stupid. Okay, wave motion. To match a little bit of the water here. Though I did paint it in red, but I don't remember if I did a masking there, but no I didn't. To make it seem like it is, you know, belonging there. Though in this frame you'll see it's blue, so before it becomes white. But that's literally one frame, so you're not going to see that. I didn't see that. And the explosion, I did some tweaking with it later. This one is very awful. But I needed Broly to switch when he falls, so it's a little better to look at. Dokkan sprites. I did that with masking here, as you can see, the lines. It's a very good way to make a teleportation Zenzoken attack. Yeah, we saw that. The end here is just simply straightforward. This one I took from the Dokkan Battle assets because the super attack animation for Broly is actually a little bit animated. He rotates his arms and he's opened his mouth, changes his perspective from this one to this one, or this one to this one, I don't know. And his arms actually rotate up as he charges the mouth blast. So here I did something similar to make it seem like he's raising his arms. Added some blur and hope you'll not notice, to make it seem like he's holding up and give the scene continuity to this blast. And this here over here just made an energy ball, because originally it's just a very small ball, so yeah. That's episode 126, just changing the colors. I needed two energy spheres. This one's from his punch, but you stop here and add a little energy ball to his hand. And boom. Movie 10, Dragon Ball Super, reacting. Same thing as before with Goku, but now with Frieza. Here is the same thing. Broly is dashing in, but he needs to cover Frieza, so I added this a little bit to seem like he's getting engulfed. Here to make the transition better, I zoomed in into his mouth and then back, which many movies do to make a same scene continuous when using different takes. You zoom in and out. Though I see now that should be more green here. Doesn't matter. Here, Resurrection F. Painted it green to make it seem like the explosion was actually green, and then it reverts back to the original lava. I saw a comment because saying that Broly will not breathe in space, but if he has an energy shield here, he should be able to use the oxygen within this sphere to breathe. Then of course he'll run out of air once there's no oxygen in there, but well, for a limited amount of time he can. Plus, if he makes the shield very large, he can breathe for a longer time. This is the intro. I did the same thing with Broly's mouth here and hair. So there are 4 frames, one with the hair normal and mouth normal, the other with hair normal and mouth open, and the other with mouth open and hair different. So I just had to make sure that the hair is moving at all times. Though I really don't think I should have done that, but because this scene is dialogue heavy. Oh yes, the chicken Broly's holding is actually from the promotional KFC Dragon Ball Z chicken, so it's actual Dragon Ball chicken. Dokkan Battle assets for the cloud animation there. And here you see all the green screens. Some from Dragon Ball Heroes, the other from movie 8 and 10. this fight can definitely be expanded upon. And also I know that DBS Broly would become stronger than Broly, the original one, without becoming enraged. But come on, this Dragon Ball, we need to make them transform. Plus, not like this not like he's a pushover as well. And this is what I had for the new one. Obviously I cannot use this last bits, so this is that basically. Used only this one, this clips. Yeah, and this one I added later. This I did the testing to see if it would look good in the transformation. Ended up using it. And that's from the trailer. They already did a re-download because this one had subtitles. This was a test to see if I could use that double energy attack, but I could not because this looks awful. The enemy green spring back, the fight that I said, this one's mainly sound effects, only sound effects. More, and this is the video that I actually rendered. The intro, I delayed a little bit of some reaction, some attacks. Here it's a little slower because, as I mentioned, when you're editing you don't have a sense of speed unless you keep rendering and such all the time. So I made it a little bit slower. Here, 80% of the actual speed, and that happens throughout the video. Here with the explosion to give it a little reverb, like I said. Explosion. I added the Resurrection F lava to make it seem more chaotic and extend the transformation, of course. White ashes, Zanzaken. Added a punch that I did in the beginning. Ugh. I should have added more of those punches. This one looked very good in my opinion. We did a little slower, though I think in the final video still did not seem very easy to see what was happening. This one is the same thing. I did Goku's, you can see Goku's original hand here in some frames. But all in all, I think it fit really well, the way Broly's new hand is animated. Here I extended a little bit, I added the Belly Blast attack. So here you put some blur and this PNG image to make it seem like he's dashing. Then you change the background and dashing Broly and do the full animation. Bleh. Oh, and also covering Frieza yet again. I could lower his opacity here, but then you would see Frieza, so yeah. Mouth blast. I increased the explosion. This is actually a pillar of energy that goes up. Just swapped it to make it seem like the blast. This little effect before the explosion. Broly falls. And that's about it for the video. The rest is sound effects, Broly lines.
Want to kill him too? Too bad for him, because you're mine.
He laughs a lot. Movie 10, movie 8. Yeah, another kick to... Yes, I refrained myself a lot from using this explosion because it's mostly for meme purposes and not more sound effects. And that's about it for the video. If you're watching so far, well, thank you for watching into this journey throughout this video. and I want to make more, but they are quite taxing time-wise, and I don't have much time, but it was definitely worth it. I wanted to see if I could improve over the last videos. I've always loved what if fights, and one of the reasons I actually loved so much the retellings of the movie is because we'll get more footage to use in what if fights. That's a weird way of thinking, but well, it is what it is. Well, I don't think we need a lesson in sound. This one here is just sound effects, because originally it was back here, so I'd have to zoom out and zoom in, and it was annoying. There's no, I think the only thing that's certain is this one are music, original video of the rendered video, and additional audio effects, and this the gulp of it. Originally I should put one sound effect here, from one brawl here, for another brawl here, background, and special effects and such, but I don't have that kind of control. I just place it all there and make one messy timeline that I cannot understand after. Oh well. Here are the various images, sources, sound effects. Yeah, you know. Well, thank you for watching, and who knows, maybe we'll have a new what if fight sooner than you think, given this last one. But I don't think I'm going to make Broly, which is probably not going to be as surprising as this last one was. Then again, I need to make a new Devil May Cry video. Well, but I cannot. Oh, we'll see. Let me know in the comments down below. Then again, I don't think you're watching this video, so I'm talking to the air. Well, if you stayed here, you have my thanks and my gratitude. I'll see you next time on the next episode. And oh god, this is over 30 minutes again. Okay, see ya.